is the best action movie of all time, Commando, and here's why.
I know Commando does get a certain amount of respect, but I think if you say to people, name an Arnie film or name the best action film, they don't say Commando, or most people say like T2 and things like that. But if you look at this clip, it's been on now, like about 5 seconds. You've already got the crazy bin men that have just blown somebody away. Bill Duke's just stealing this Cadillac. And like I say, this is like an edited, cut down version of Commando. And one thing I really do think Commando does not get enough credit for is the amazing screenplay by Steven de Souza, who's like most famous for like things like Die Hard and 48 Hours. But look at like things like this, where introducing the main character by walking in with a tree over his shoulder, and then there's Arnie's spidey senses tingling there as he smelt the bad guys coming. And I know there's been loads of race against time films, but this is one of the few films I can really think of, and I honestly can't think of another one. I'd love to see if anybody else can think of one in the comments, where it really genuinely feels like it's a race against time. Like as soon as he starts that watch off with the 11 hours countdown, and he's just like racing from each scene to each location, and it genuinely feels like that's where he needs to be. Like he's got to find out where his daughter is, he's got to find some transportation to get there, he's got to like get some weapons, and like a Ray Dawn Chong helps him out and stuff like that. And like there, like this Jeep just going down this mountain with no brakes, and then he gets out the Jeep and it explodes and all that kind of stuff. And it just literally, like, even though there's, obviously, over the years been tons and tons of great action movies, and I like, action movies from all different decades, and right up to the present day, there's been some amazing action movies and some leaps in technology with, like, some of the camera moves they can do, and just like how sound design is so much more effective nowadays. But like with literally, even on this clip, just a couple of minutes into it, in there, seeing Arnie hanging off the bottom of an aeroplane and jumps off, and just apart from a little bit of clunkiness every so often, like that, there's one little last little bit of the effect, you think, oh okay. But it seems believable to me. That it sounds such a ridiculous thing to say, but when you see Arnie like escape from a moving aeroplane, and no wonder Sully thinks he's genuinely like left, and like here where he's like a paranoid maniac in a green t-shirt, it's like, what, where did he come from? And apparently this was the same mall as well from Terminator 2, which just seems way too convenient. I mean, I don't know why people would have to like lie about it, but like, and even this scene here, I think this is one thing that separates Commando from loads of other action movies, where I don't want to derail my own argument by naming certain action movies that are really, really good. I don't think any name really have to be mentioned in a lot of ways. But like say, I feel like there he was swinging like Tarzan then, and now he flipped that phone box above his head, and the way he's dropping Sully here, and the way there's been a car chase, the way there's been guns, like I say later on there's like knives, there's aeroplane stuff. Do you ever find Arnie no? And it's just all these different things, and like he always gain all the guns and everything. And I feel like this film has been ripped off or copied so many times, but it's almost like a bit like, and again, I'll look at this scene here. I mean, how many times do you see a woman in a short skirt and high heels fire a rocket launcher into a police van? And that's so sort of counterintuitive to as well, because if you didn't know like the sort of quote-unquote ramifications of that scene, she was trying to save him there. Oh, look at this, we've got the Operation Wolf there, a tooling up, and there, like a tooling up sequence, like now you see it in loads of films, they do it kind of ironically. But to me, that is still the coolest thing ever. Just seeing Arnie carrying all that equipment, and again, it's got that believability to it. It sounds so ridiculous as you're watching, like, with that barrel shooting up in there. That's crazy. And just how Bennett as well, though, is this really manic villain. And I think that's like, even though I nearly always like root for the good guys in films, and like and this here, the first time I saw the full uncut version of this, like I say, I didn't want sort of show this, because it's too gory, but like, too gory for a YouTube clip. But the uncut version of this is incredible, how he gets out of this barn. But yeah, I mean, if this 5-minute clip hasn't convinced you why Commando is the best action film ever made, I don't know what will. But I know I say this on a lot of clips, but I genuinely If you can think of an action film that for pound, beat for beat, is more action packed than this, I'll be more than happy to read the comments and reply.
So now, if anybody ever asks what's the best action film, all you've got to say is Commando, and keep it locked.